set? Have your attention, please. Welcome to the zoning board of June 11, 2017. My name is Marty Akins. I'm the chair. July 7th. July 11th. 71117. My name is Marty Akins. I'm to my left, the vice chair, Mr. Cabeas. Board members, Mr. O'Brien, Mr. Jim, Mr. Hamel. Mr. Radell, I want to say friend, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. To my right, your left, the clerk, Ms. Murphy. Behind me, the head of inspectional services, Mr. Duca. If you have a cell phone or a page,
Sorry, July 25th.
Second.
on the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Further under tonight's agenda, on the whole business, ID Sign Group for variance to install an oversized panel sign on the premise number 77113 Quincy Ave. The applicant or representative here.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening. Yep, how come we didn't get these earlier?
These are just supplementary.
So you're gonna change the sign, correct?
Thank you.
We did some research and realized that the size of the sign is appropriate for what we're trying to do.
Yes, you got it.
So we're trying to approve the same sign that we talked about
All
before.
right, I get it.
We did a lot of research.
All right, you have the floor, so go ahead.
We did a lot of research to see about reducing the size of the sign. The sign, we feel, is appropriate for the, actually, it's smaller than what should be allowed through the USSC. I don't know if you're familiar with the United States Sound Council, the on-premise sign guidelines. Basically, the state of Massachusetts in the country tries to abide by the right size lettering for a pylon sign. It takes reaction time to be able to make moves and whatnot. And we've done a lot of research as far as crunching the numbers and seeing what fits. And the reality of a sign of this nature with 4-lane highway, they actually suggest an 18-inch letter. We're asking for 5.5 to 6-inch to basically this size letter. To make, actually Jamie can walk back and you can see how that, you actually lose it. You know, as you're approaching, it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. You can't make it out. So if you went with a smaller sign, it would be less than half that. And you can't even see that.
I could see it fine.
Right, but if you're driving a car at 30 miles an hour, you've got to make a decision. You've got to get over 2 lanes to be able to pull in.
So what you're telling me is all your business is people drive down the street, see a sign and pull in. They don't
That's
know
all they
you
have
know?
though, but that's the only
I
thing
think
they have.
everyone goes and punches the address they're going, wherever they're going. They go to that address, the car drives itself.
But it's
That's
marketing.
me. That's me. All right.
But no, it's actually research. I mean, we've done the research.
I hear you.
You've got it in front of you.
This is all based off of text, copy, font, color. This is
It's
based
the
off
same-
of the fact that it's a four-lane major congested artery.
But you have another sign there, right?
But it's a different tenant. It's not the same tenants. It's a completely different sign.
Right, so why do you need all those signs?
Because
Why don't
there's
you take
multiple
those down
tenants.
and put your tenants on this side?
Because you've got 2 tenants on one side of the building,
Yeah.
you've got 4 tenants on the other side of the building. The tenants aren't gonna be able to put out a street sign because there is, you know, if, I can't think of the name of the business that's further in.
A New Way is the one.
A New Way. I mean, they can't put the sign on the building because they're inside the,
I'm just not a fan of signs anymore.
understood. But that's, you know, that's the here, either here or there. This is, you know, we've done the research.
Go ahead. Questions?
Yeah, I have one question. The Citizens Bank sign that I see there,
Yes.
is that gonna stay there? No, that's.
No, we're
No,
gonna actually replace it with that.
That's being removed, the height's staying consistent, the footing is widening up a little bit.
Well, it's gonna be only 2
And
feet
what's
on each
important to
side.
note is that the text is changing.
You can see it's
Well, yeah,
much smaller.
You got four tenants.
I just want to make sure everyone
What's
understands.
the four tenants you have in there?
Right now, there's Citizens Bank, there's then 2 vacancies, because right now, that's the space that they gave up, and then there's a new way in the back right now.
What's the new way gonna say? What's that sign gonna say?
What's that sign gonna say? Would you say a new way?
It's hard to say what they want.
Yeah. And
We have to market it to them as well.
And, you know, it all depends on the leases too. These leases are, you know,
And I get,
different tenants in a year.
And it's a touchy situation, how you advertise that in front really is.
Well,
The
they've gone,
neighbors that live there.
they've gone far enough to move they got rid of all the vegetation in front.
Oh, no,
This sign is- I mean, I don't know if you've been by it.
I'm not even talking about it. I'm
No.
talking about the way you advertise that tenant. It's a touchy subject in that neighborhood.
For that particular tenant, but maybe that.
Oh, no, so all I'm saying is the way it's gonna be advertised.
Understood.
That's all I'm saying.
And I
That's all.
understand that completely.
And I've heard from a few people that, you know, how they can advertise this, is this the way it's gonna be? You know, it's gonna be big block letters
There's no
up
guarantee
there.
they're even gonna put a panel up.
I know, but I'm just saying, it's just a touchy subject.
Yeah, and for the record, that lease it expires in about a year and a half, just so you know. So then hopefully this will be a 20-year sign.
We're not looking, we're not looking for an 18-inch letter, which is what the USSC suggests that is what Massage Envy, which is across the street. I don't know if you're familiar with the Massage Envy site. But that letter right there, Massage Envy, right here, is 20 inches.
Which all comes down and it
You
boils
can
off
see how
of
much
viewer
bigger it is.
reaction time, which is a very important argument. You know,
We just want to do the right sign for the right place. It's not oversized. It's not like
Any
Dublin
further
Plaza.
questions?
Excuse me, how far are you exceeding the maximum on our zoning regulation?
I do not.
20%.
20%.
So you're gonna be 1/5 bigger than what our zoning recognizes as the.
With
maximum.
all your signage?
Just a one.
With all the signage in there, for each tenant?
I don't know.
I believe so, yeah.
What's our zoning now? Mr. Duca? Yes. What they're saying is they're only 20% over on their signage with all the signs they have on that, for that building.
It's a 21,000 square foot building.
So you're allowed one freestanding sign, if you've got 3 of them, it'd be 300%.
Two.
Right.
2 freestanding right now.
Right.
There's two, they're
This
gonna
is gonna be
change.
a third.
We're gonna replace
They're gonna
the
get
one
rid of
that's
those, so
there.
they got 2 freestanding signs, is what I'm saying.
And it's not gonna have the same, see, there was a misunderstanding the last time we were here,
So how many square feet
that
is
both
the sign?
signs were gonna say the same thing. They're not.
No.
One sign is for only the tenants on the right side.
Right.
The other sign, this sign, is for the tenants on the left.
And the tenants on the right side have their own parking lot, and the 3
Totally
future
separate.
tenants on the left side will have their own parking lot, and there is no throughway between the 2 parking lots.
Is there now?
No,
No, and it's very.
you'd have to go into the neighborhood, which we don't wanna do.
Correct.
It's been like that forever. You have to go out to the neighborhood and come
Yeah,
back.
there's a neighborhood, we don't wanna send people into the neighborhood and go to the other side.
Yeah.
To shut.
It's a commercial artery. And it's less, it's so much smaller than
Any
the
other
other, I mean,
questions? We got it.
okay.
Any other questions, Jim?
This means,
So any size freestanding sign, or is this exceed the size requirements, or is
I
it
think
fall?
it's 75 square feet.
Yeah, which is, they got 2 freestanding signs.
Yeah, I know, but if you just had a single, does it comply with the size requirement?
I haven't
What
seen
is
it.
More
that,
difficult.
12 by what?
To be honest, if you did that, then you'd have
16 by
two separate entrances.
No, I'm not, I'm asking.
16 by-
Sure, I mean, we could put a huge pylon up there with all the members on it, but
16 by...
it's confusing.
What, how wide is that? 8, 6? 6 feet wide, those signs? 8, how big is that? Come on, guys, it's your sign.
Understood, but you have the size of the width. The width is 8 feet.
That's the task.
8 feet.
9,600.
Are you the
The existing is 8 feet.
property manager, owner?
Property
Yeah, owner.
manager.
And you hired these guys?
We hired these guys,
Okay.
yes. And I just want to be very clear that I do want the board to be happy. I don't care what the zone, I want the board to be comfortable with what we're doing. So please, whatever it takes, that's what we're going to do.
192 inches tall.
I'm gonna turn it off.
Somebody comes with.
It's the same size, the exact size as
It's 126 square foot
What's that?
is what that
All right.
is. It's like 60% over. So.
Mr. Chairman, the sign is limited to 75 square.
Yeah, he's got 126 on this.
No, 100. That is a
16 by
height.
8.
That is,
120 feet.
It says
All
128.
right, I had 126, close enough.
sorry.
Yeah, so you're
50%.
more than that.
70.
Yeah, 70% more. That one sign, plus the other sign. Any other questions?
We can reduce the size, I just wanna put this
I
out
hear,
there.
I hear.
We've got another option to reduce the size, I just feel that it's too small.
At the end of the day, like you said, it's very important that the board is happy. We want to meet the criteria that you guys have set forth. And with that being said, we do have this
It's a directional
conceptual, this conceptual is significantly smaller. It comes in at 13 feet tall. The existing sign currently, Citizen Bank, is 16. So it would be reducing.
We can reduce it 20%, but what it do is short, that's the question. Can actually look at
That, this is a major avenue, you know.
It's like 20%.
it is 20% small.
May I ask how many tenants?
And the letters are still 5.5.
Four.
Sorry,
Or two
How many
current,
tenants are in the building?
Right now, there are 1, 2, 3, 4 tenants,
Including
It was-
Citizens Bank?
including Citizens. Long-term, we expect that to be 6 because tenants shrink over time, as you'll see with Citizens Bank right now.
What are the size letters in this?
This would be shrunk into scale, so proportionately, with 20%
I
less,
mean,
so
is
it'd
it
be
like 5?
So it'll be about 4.
about a 5
Yeah,
inch.
4 and a half, yeah, 4.
4.
Well, it's been a little more.
Right, and it all
At least
depends on how
a
much
minimum
copy.
like 4.5, so.
Right, but it's gonna be very small.
If you look off to the left, you see that 6-foot person standing next to it. It does not look like a monolith,
Right,
it's not nearly as large.
Well, you know what I think? I'm also concerned, I just had a bit of a background in retail. I know this, that people do make snap decisions that hurt impulses. And if the sign is too small and can't see from a distance, I'm wondering if people are going to pull it quickly, more fast than it should be. And that could become more of a hazard. So I think I'm okay with what they're proposing, because I don't think the letters are very big, and people are driving 40 miles an hour, and they should be driving 55,
Well,
but not.
sometimes if you're lucky, it's 40.
So, you know, I think the managers, I think good managers.
I'm not saying they're not. I'm just looking at the next sign down the road, the next sign, the next sign. Why can't I get one?
Well, I think
Before I know it.
this building's a little unusual to have so many tenants.
And, you know, like we did down in Quincy, trying to get rid of half of those things.
Yeah.
Wanted them billboards, we got some of those taken out. Remember what that looked like?
Yeah, I do.
It was that one. It's like, you know, we're not here to have millions of signs up. I get it, you gotta advertise, I get it, business gotta make money, I get that, I really do.
I mean, I wouldn't be in favor of the 20-foot, you know, sign. Or the, I'm sorry, the one over this side, yeah. Yeah, it's like-
Yeah, that's actually tall, yeah.
That's a real bulky thing. I go anywhere.
Like I said initially when they met, I'd like them to be closer to the zoning code. I think split decisions in retail is not something that I want people to do. I think with the the internet and punching in when you're looking for something specific. I think signing is less critical on site. I'm not saying it's, but that's the way I feel.
My sense is that I've driven this street a lot. There are lots of traffic signals there. So the traffic really can't go 40 miles an hour, I don't think. And
Once the bridge is open.
my sense is that I don't want to have an oversized sign in the city if I can help it. So I'd rather go with a smaller.
Right up.
Yeah, I'm kind of in agreement with the rest of the board. I think if we're gonna give a variance, we're giving a variance to have a second sign, that's already, the fact that the scope and scale is that much over concerns me.
So, and I feel the same way, and I didn't want to send that to you guys have done, but, I mean, I would entertain the small 16, the small sign that you have at
13.
13, right? And that's up to you, what your guys call. You can see right now, the board's not happy with that, but they'd be happy with the 13-foot sign.
Well, I think, since they already proposed that, we could vote on 13.
Well, I'm just saying, I want to make sure they're happy, but if they're not, there's no sense in even doing it, right? Maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I think what's very unique about this building, and it's like, unlike any other building that we have, is there really is two separate buildings. It just so happens that they join a party wall in the back, so it's called one building. I think that's what's unique about it. So I think my obviously biased opinion, I think that the big one does make a lot of sense, but at the same time, again, very, very important for us to make sure that the board's happy. And if if everyone is more comfortable with us going smaller, we're gonna go smaller, and that's that, simple as that.
Do I have a motion, please?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. And that Z17-52, ID sign for variance to install an oversized panel sign on premises number 77 Quincy Ave. I make a motion to grant the variance as a condition that the sign be only 13 feet high.
Second. On the motion, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you
I
guys, appreciate it.
Further on tonight's agenda. Yeah, we gotta move,
Yeah.
C-1737, Ron Zangi for finding to demolish the existing home, reconstruct the original footprint, vertical extension, structural changes on the premise number 153 Bayside. The applicant or representative here.
Marty, so. Marty, just so you want to.
Yeah, Mr. Radell's office.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'm Dave Suni, here representing Mr. Zangi, and Lorraine Matulik is the architect.
What is your name, sir?
David Suni, S-U-N-Y. Thank you. Thanks for your time tonight. So we've been before the board. This is my first time appearing, but Mr. Zangi and Ms. Matulik have been before the board. As you're aware, we're seeking a finding to allow Mr. Zangi to demolish the existing non-conforming house at 153 Bayside Road. Mr. Zangi intends to construct a 2.5-story house on the existing lot. And we believe that the relevant provisions of the zoning code have been met here. So we're asking for a finding allowing him to demolish the structure and also to do a vertical extension, which is provided for under the code, provided that you find that there is not a substantial detriment to extended use. So I know that we've submitted a lot of materials to the board already,
Right.
and I don't want to necessarily cover all the ground here, but I'm happy to answer questions and have dimensions.
No, you get your new set of plans now. You still got a 3-bedroom home, is that correct?
Yes.
Right? It's still 3
Yes.
bedrooms. And with the floodplain, you're using the first floor parking, correct?
Yes.
And you got 2.5 stories above that.
Yes.
What's
Conforming
the
to
total
the
height on the new building?
I believe we will be within the height restriction.
34?
Yes, approximately.
I mean, those are my questions, and I saw the back and forth, and I saw the way it went, but far as, you know, we're in a floodplain now. It's- Maps have changed, and we gotta do what we gotta do, and I understand. The roof line, what do you got for a roof on that? What's the, yeah, 7-pitch, 5-pitch, what is that? Roof line? You know,
The pitch,
on the roof,
I think it's 10 or 12,
you
something
get a
like
10,
that.
12?
Yeah,
Can you
something
cut that
about
down?
that, if I remember.
You need a big pitch like that in the roof down there?
No, not necessarily.
We can look at cutting that down.
You know, I mean,
The pitch
get a
is,
10, 12 roof, that's added. Probably 2 more feet up there.
well, the pitch is, this is designed that way, so it can allow 7 feet attic space, which is the minimum by code.
Wow. Storage. Let's go in and 7 feet.
Yeah, that's the whole, yeah,
This is the minimum pitch to allow that.
these are the latest plans, you didn't skip any other plans, right?
These are later.
Yeah.
What's the roof?
Yeah, if you have a plans where there are diagrams that compare approved garage, those are the ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get a dormer on the roof? Is there a dormer on the roof?
Dormer, yes, one.
Why?
To allow some light into it.
I mean, you're gonna cut down the roof line. It's gonna be, it's gonna be hard to get that dormer. It's going up down the roof line, right?
I don't know, it's just all-
Yeah, I mean, you can bring it down probably a foot and a half. This seems like a steep roof, it just does. It seems like-
Well, that's the reason why that pitch is to allow, minimum pitch to allow that 7 feet
We're
height.
still- Yeah, this is June, I think it May was.
This is March,
March.
March 16th.
That's a no.
So I have additional stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a decision.
And then this one's
Yeah,
a
they're
April
good.
25th.
This is bigger than my
This one got-
This is the-
it's just- it's just- What's he got on floors? Those 8-foot floors, 9-foot floors? How big are they?
8'6".
Oh. No, I have no further questions.
I don't either. Not this one.
Trying to recall with the,
Well, I'm gonna have everyone speak again because these plans will change, so people can spend their 2 cents. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And we'll go through that again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anyone here that wants to speak in favor, since we have a new set of plans since the last time we met? Anyone speak in favor, first call, second call, third call closed. I'm gonna let it here to review the project, and I'll have my comments. Is there anyone opposed or undecided? Opposed or undecided, please step forward.
Evening. Judy and Ed McManus, butters at 21 Orchard Street. To my knowledge, the last set of plans I have seen when we had a community meeting just last week, nothing has changed. When we were here last, I do recall that the board did ask that the height be reduced. We still have this 2-car garage with another 2 stories going on top of it, which was not what was agreed to back in June of last year. That was gonna be a 2-bedroom, 2-bath house that we gave the permission with the garage for the woman that was going to be working there. It had an exterior entrance only to that above the garage. This is a completely set of different plans, as far as I'm concerned. What we agreed to last June does not apply here any longer. Nothing was acted on within the year. So to us, this house is very large on a very small lot. It's going to encroach on a lot of things, our view, use of our property, we're already blocked in other areas. I don't know what more I can say. I think I've said my piece here a couple of times.
No, and you understand he does have a piece of property that he
Yeah,
does.
I do.
feel.
And I'm still looking at a chunky garage that's not going anywhere, and I'm gonna look at a 35-foot wall in front of me as well.
On top of the size of the home, there is a 400 square foot structure already on the property. And if they need all that height for storage, why don't they go up on the garage they already have instead of building a 3-story garage?
The other concern
I mean,
is
this-
that the front door is
you're
also
looking at-
moving.
Being lost, we already let them,
Yeah,
And the front door is moving.
yeah.
Garage isn't there.
No,
No.
that 2-car garage is done.
There's no footprint in that garage, there's no
None
footprint
of that
there.
was done.
None of it was done, it's just bare ground. There is a garage there already, but they don't want to use that.
But it's not theirs completely.
It is there, but it's still on the
Shared with the
property.
other.
It's a shed.
My point is, it's approximately 3,400 square feet of building on a 3,200 square foot lot. I mean, and the front door was moved to Orchard Street, and the setback on the front door, as far as I know, is 25 feet. They got 4 feet. I mean,
It's gonna be on the
it's
side.
not even in the ballpark. And it was denied already until they spoke to Mr. Cooper. So I don't understand why it's even being considered at this point. It's not even close.
It's a new application, because the old one.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Mhm.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone else? Opposed or undecided? John?
John Rutherford, 62 Grimwell Road. I'm against this project. It's too dense. You can't take a tiny house and build 4 times the house on that lot. You should only be able to increase a property by, at most, 50%. So we don't have any rules on what they say you can do. The zoning board basically determines whether something fits the neighborhood or doesn't fit the neighborhood. This doesn't really fit in between the houses where they're trying to build. It's too tall. They asked them to go smaller, and they really didn't go smaller at all. Again, I'm confused too. I thought this was already denied too, so I just want to get it on the record that I'm against this. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Is there anyone else? Opposed or undecided?
Hi, this is Rachel. I live at 24 Orchard, which is angled from his house. And he came, Mr. Denny came to us, to our yard and said, oh, I'm building a 2,100 square foot house over on the lot, and my parents moved in, blah, blah, blah. Will you sign my paper? Yeah, okay. And then never dreaming to come to the meeting, and all of a sudden it's a 3,000 square foot house on a 32.
You say his parents are moving?
He said his parents were going to move in, and, which I don't believe. So, and he switched it to the facing Orchard, which faces my house at an angle. The driveway's gonna be right on the sidewalk, right there. There are 10 kids under the age of 6 within a block and a half right there. It's right in front of the boat launch. So, like last weekend, 2 boats were waiting to get in when one was already unloading up the street. It's chaos there. There's not enough space for anybody to do anything. Plus, the size of the lot is so small.
Well, what would I don't understand.
With his driveway right there, I'm saying it's already chaotic. But now having his 2-car garage there, pulling in and out.
You can't see.
People
Can't
park
see.
on the
They
side.
park
I see
to
what
the
you're saying. I
beach.
see what you're
And
saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying, that's how it is over there.
it's kind
But
of
you don't
crazy.
have the setbacks, and I
Yeah.
think that's an issue without the setbacks. Go ahead.
And also, this is what we look at every day. Every day. He has not done one thing to the property. It looks like, I'm sorry, one short. He has to share. He's not, it's, we wanted to put the fence in the bond part, but we didn't. So every day we look at it, every day it's that, and no care, no, it's not gonna, it doesn't, I pay a lot of taxes to look at that every day. So we are definitely close to it.
Thank you. You want to say something? Fred, you want to say something?
Billy?
Do you want to say something?
No, I mentioned the setbacks, and to me, that was the issue, because I know I built a house over there, and, you know, I was restricted by those setbacks for, that's all.
Thank you.
Yep.
Is there anyone else? Opposed or undecided? Counsel?
Good evening. Thank you. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Again, I heard earlier there is no detriment to this project. It's obviously, you know, the height was mentioned earlier, and we just heard about what it looks like, you know, and the care of, because down at Orchard Beach.
It's been going on for months.
I'm sorry?
It's been going on for a long time.
Absolutely.
And I haven't been down there in a while.
And we're trying, the city is trying desperately. In fact, at the end of Orchard Beach, the city just put in a brand new, for safety reasons and aesthetic reasons for the community, put in a temporary boat ramp, and hopefully somebody will follow up, and whether it's me or somebody else will get the permitting, and we'll have a nice boat ramp there. This project, it took me forever to get a community meeting to take place, and I only met with the architect. I heard that there was people who were in favor, and I haven't seen anybody in favor brought up here, or a list. I was told that there was a list. That didn't take place.
I have a list. I'll give it to you.
Okay, that's, you know, but that list is very questionable, because they brought people around, senior group, but I can just say that you just have to look at, after 4 months, I think it is 4 months they've owned the property, now we have a rodent problem, and my concern is the fact that the genuineness of the intentions of the property, and it has not shown me as the ward councilor. They did not come to me. I had to force the issue. The fact that now I think it's been postponed. If am I right? This is the third. It was postponed twice. So my concern is that we could have some a serious issue there, especially with the congestion there. The property doesn't fit, and it is a detriment to a family that has lived there, been part of the community for many, many years, that is abutting right next door. So I would ask the committee not to allow this project to go forward. And I thank you for your time. Thanks.
Is there anyone else? Last call? I'll let part of hearing closed. We'll continue this for 2 weeks, because I'll tell you what, I just can't believe this. It's one of them. I can't bother them. That someone would even leave their property that wants something from the city, that kind of blight.
March 25th?
It's just mind-boggling. You know what happened last time? You shouldn't have come up here if they use a property like that. You should never leave it. Simple as that. Like this, if we could get a copy to the council. Just this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people, five signers. What they said is should leave that right on top there. Does that sound good there? I don't know.
What do you want to do?
I just want, number one, I want 2 weeks to go down there. Let's look at this again, because I'm missing something. I missed something before. If this is, You know, I did ask him to shrink it, he didn't. Just try to drop some height, he didn't, so.
I think he struggled with this the first time, and it took quite a,
But I think he does, I mean, he's got a right to build something, I know that. And maybe this ain't the house, but he does have a floodplain issue down there, which you have to look at. So he's gonna have, he has a right to 2.5 stories plus his floodplain issue. And you're gonna deal with it next on Rockland Street, where the floodplain is 18.6. So you're dealing 18.6 level, the floodplain, in 2.5 stories, which she did is made it 2 stories on a flat roof, which is very nice, I think, of the woman for the neighbors. With the new set of plans we're gonna get tonight, that we emailed, but I mean, we should have had them 2 weeks ago.
but I think that, going back to my memory, we approved this by the previous
But
owner.
it was a little different.
But that's what I'm saying.
It was a different project, it was 1.5 stories. When the floodplain issue come in, and they had to move it up. And then they wanted 2.5, which by the way, they have 2.5. Right, Mr. Duca?
Yes, the key thing with the floodplain issue is that it's very, it's right at grade. So by eliminating the basement now, they can actually have their first floor a little bit above the base flood. So they're still building at 2.5 stories, even though they're in the flood zone. It'll still be 2.5 stories.
Thank you.
So, and I mean, that's just my opinion, but I mean, we can come up with something, but maybe this ain't the issue. But this here is bizarre. You guys see this thing?
Yeah, we got copies.
So, all right, so
So, I mean, I don't know, you talk it out, see what you wanna do.
we'll give it 2 more weeks, but I think that in 2 weeks' time, I think the petitioner should be thinking about a little landscaping.
Like a lot of landscape, at least clean it up, clean up the yard, clean up for the neighbors, and not leave junk like that around, come in front of us. It's like not fair to the neighbors.
Because
Then you ask for something from the city.
Right, he's asking for a finding, and right now it is a little detrimental, because right now it is looking like a place where people can get hurt.
Those kids probably.
Kids probably do want their houses in there.
Yes. You might, Mr. Duca?
Yeah,
You might to this?
We'd just like to add, part of the reason for the attic, I know, because I work with the architect, is they're eliminating the basement, so all storage is gone from the building, and that's part of the reason for the additional space.
We have a total height on this thing.
The shared one.
I know. They'll show you like full plan. Usually, yeah. Huh? Yeah. You have a height on it?
No, there isn't one of the plans.
7 or here, here's what we got here. And
35 feet, it says, 33 feet, according to the requested condition.
33,
Right,
33
so it's 2.5 stories, 33 feet.
9, 0, 9, 10, 28, 29, and then 4, 33. Okay, just. Now wait a month, you wanna have them knock that down? Talk it out.
Yep.
Whatever you want, talk it out. Anything, yeah. So Brian, anything?
Again, they don't need dormers for storage, right?
No.
And then that way, if they're just gonna use storage in the attic, then they could knock it down, right?
No, I'm saying you need 7 feet up there, but I don't know how big that is. It's got 11 foot, there's 11 feet there, 10.9 or something like that. I don't know if you need 10.9 or 11 pitch roof.
Generally, the windows are just for.
Oh, no, yeah, for sure, to make it look better. But if you're shrinking the roof, the dawn's there in the way. Can't even out 1.5 feet. And view's no excuse not to build a house, because they didn't buy that side of the street. So that's not an excuse not to build a house. house, but it is an exclusive, they're right on the lot line, and it's a betterment, and for the neighborhood, driving boats down there, and you can't see because they took the whole corner off. I'd like to take another look at it, maybe I'm missing something that I didn't get. I thought we did everything with that, I was trying to add back to the point. If they can shrink that roof a couple feet, but even that garage, I mean, it's on the lot line, I don't want it there, I didn't look at it, I didn't see it. Look the other thing, that means what I saw,
It's there.
it wasn't there, it wasn't on, it wasn't on the line. That's the plan come up with the plan. Yeah, like 7 feet off, 8 feet off. Well, not down. But the same, the proposed house. So it's right on the line.
Yeah.
But they're also saying it's what,
Why does that have to be?
Because that way you keep it
supposedly it's existing right here.
No, that's this, you're talking about that one. This is the new garage right here. Proposed garage, the house comes around, it wraps around. It's right through. None of this caught the water, consider that garage. You know what? You're not throwing it out. It's his fault, we had two garages. They could have done something. They could have done something.
I look like, I'm
Good.
second.
I mean,
That's my feeling, Joe.
just because the garage is so the garage, and it's right on, 4 feet from the lot.
If they withdraw perhaps to something else, then maybe that will change this whole thing, but I think it's a lot.
It's not a lot of time.
Yeah. Right, great.
This is existing. I didn't know that. That's right. It's 2 feet up.
They'll have a real small deliberations.
You know? Yeah. It's just, it's because of the other garage, that's their problem. And that ain't our problem. You know? Build it without a garage.
We were just talking about that too.
Yeah.
We don't like having the new garage.
That's that close in the line. I didn't even
It's
think.
close to the line, there's already an existing garage in the back.
Well, half.
Half. The right to half of an existing garage.
Yeah. But they should take down his half.
They should do something.
Move it over, exactly.
The access isn't from Orchard Street, right?
Just wrong, it's just wrong.
For the car? Car?
Yeah, covered for the second garage.
No, I don't believe so. What's the access for your current garage? Is it off Bayside or is it? It's off Bayside.
Yeah.
So you can't get
It's a
to it
sheer.
from Orchard.
It's a shared driveway.
It's a shared run. And they don't even use,
can't- you
no
can't
one
feed the
uses,
car.
no one uses,
Hold on.
right?
You
No
can't
one
feed the
uses.
car.
No, we talked about that the last time. It was like,
It's only like probably 14 feet max. It's not really big. It's really small. This is like.
Why isn't it ripped down?
Neighbor
Why
has
didn't
a
you
car
rip
on
it
his
down?
side.
Can't, it's sharing. They can't, you have
Make your half down.
like, it's all, the roof is not
We
like 8
discussed
feet.
that before too.
Put a board up. Move your garage back.
If he wants it, I'll do it. If he doesn't want it.
Do what you want, but, yeah, it's not right. It's just, you can't.
I'm ready to go.
Have a motion?
Well, I'm not sure everyone else is there.
As presented?
Yes.
I'm not in favor of it as presented.
Mr. Hamel?
Too much, too big. Lots too small.
Yeah, again,
So,
after all we went through the first time around, and they gotta go with something completely new from what we
well,
approved.
it's just,
And we
you
fought
asked them to
tooth
shrink it and they didn't, so.
We fought
they
through
could've
the middle
shrunk
of
it.
the
They could've
previous-
shrunk that, they could've shrunk a one-car garage, they could've moved it over, they could've done something. So, they want the thing on the street. I don't like it.
May I explain
No,
the
no,
change?
you may not, thank you. You had your time.
But council, you might want to consider withdrawing this without prejudice, right?
We just, we'll get to that too. Let's, 1 minute. So, the main things they could have done, they come back with the same plan, so. If they can't do it, then that's fine, and that garage shouldn't be that close to the lot line, right on there, because they got a garage in the lot. And that shouldn't even be there, it should be ripped down, which I thought was gonna be ripped down. So, do you want, I'm not voting for that. Let her just withdraw it and bring back something.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
So I heard some conversation about continuing for 2 weeks. There are a couple of things that I think can be addressed. I think there's some information that we can correct, and some comments that we can address also. I think it would be productive considering how much time.
Well, we are
has
down
been
the line.
invested.
Why don't you sit with the counselor after this meeting, after we get through, sit with him, see if we can set up a date, meet with him and try to put something together with the neighbors, and why don't we push this off 30 days? That might make more time for you to get it done.
And that way, because as it stands right now,
Think of that.
Yes.
you're gonna vote against it, and say you can't come back. So we'll continue with it.
Yeah, give him July, August 13th, or give him 4 weeks, that gives you time to set a drawing.
I'll be away
start,
that
work
August
with them.
6th week. What date was the
I'll
hearing?
wait a second.
August 8th,
I'll be away that week.
August 22nd,
Yes. Thank you.
the garage, pull back.
Mr. Chairman, the matter
Hold up, everybody. If they don't change it, if it don't come back right, it ain't going anywhere, so relax. Have a motion, please?
in case number 17-37, Ron Zager for a finding to demolish the existing home and reconstruct the original footprint with vertical extension and structural changes on the premises of 153 Bayside Road. Make a motion to continue the hearing to August 22nd.
Second.
On the motion, seeing none, all in favor? Opposed, so moved. Everyone, that'll be August 22nd, and the council will have a new set of drawings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My 30th wedding anniversary. Thanks a lot. Thanks.
You want to move one other week?
No, that's good, that's good.
We can do that.
Thank you.
I want to move.
Thank you.
All right?
That's a tough situation. Yeah, that makes it very difficult.
Yeah, take 5 minutes. Give me 5 minutes.
We adjourn for 5 minutes.
Come on. Go to the restroom, get a drink.